A global affairs analyst, Kunle Falowo, joins me via Skype from Indianapolis, United States. Thank you so much for joining us on the world now. It's been reported that 7 Russian missiles hit civilians who were sleeping. They were actually sleeping peacefully at their homes. Do you think Russia is so desperate and has gone way too far in their bid to overrun Ukraine?
Yes, thanks for having me. So, as part of the casualty of war in the ongoing Ukrainian-Russian onslaught, it's part of the casualty. It's part of the problems that is bound to happen. Let's not forget that the Russian side are seeing some unprecedented defeats in the battlefield, and hence they would. Use tactical means and every other means available to score a point, and hence the attack on innocent civilians. And this is ongoing. It's unfortunate, and until the end of the war, until we see an end to this war, we might continue to witness this type of attacks and casualty on both sides.
Mm. Well, Ukraine has been looking to liberate some part of its hijacked territories. They have since recovered 3 more villages in the southern region of Kherson. How would you describe Ukrainian progress in reclaiming its lost villages?
Well, it's encouraging to see that despite the size of the Russian military and then the size compared to the Ukrainian side, the unprecedented record achievement that the Ukrainians have been achieving in the battleground is quite encouraging, and it's quite remarkable. And don't forget, they came into the war on a deficit. They didn't have enough people. They didn't have enough equipment. Thanks to the Western allies, they were able to supply munitions, and they were able to also help in training and retraining the military workers and folks on the battleground. And we've been seeing tremendous success on the side of the Ukrainian as far as regaining and retaking some of the regions that was once annexed and seized and taken over by the Russian side. Having said that, it's ongoing. Um, at first, if you look back at what's happening probably like a week or two ago when the 4 Ukrainian regions was annexed by Russians by a an alleged referendum which was not recognized by Western allies and other countries. To see that the Ukrainians went back over there and took some of the small villages and towns and cities from the Russians, it's really commendable on their side. It
Mm.
shows that they're really dedicated to regaining and retaking the country one more time.
Wow. Well, let's quickly talk about the safety of Europe's largest nuclear power plant. Russia says it's taking over the operation of the facility, but Ukraine says it's still in charge. So, what do you think the issue around this can actually lead to?
Well, the Atomic Agency, thankfully, they're involved in this crisis, and they're kind of intervening. They're more like a mediator, especially in when it comes to the nuclear plant in Ukraine. Don't forget that particularly it spells doom for the whole of the European, for most of the European countries. So every other country that's quite close to Russia, if there is any form of a nuclear leak
Yeah.
in that facility, not only will Russians and Ukrainians be affected, every European country closer will also be affected. So this is a global issue. It's not just Ukraine and Russia. So all hands must be on deck to ensure that none of the sides um, go as far as releasing, or nobody does anything
Yeah.
that will make an escalation to a point of a nuclear leak happen in that region.
We'll continue to monitor the situation between Ukraine and Russia to see how the whole thing would definitely end at the end of the day. But even though the world actually wants to see peace reign at the end of the day, uh,
Absolutely.
Right. A global affairs analyst, Kunle Falowo, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.